Thank you, Brent. It's good to be here with you. I always enjoy being here. There's always things I learn at being at your farm. So, first of all, why don't you just describe the farm to us?
This is Wilson Centennial Farm. It's named Centennial because it's really a sesquicentennial farm. Our family settled here in 1851, and amazingly, every generation has continued on.
Yeah.
And now we have the seventh generation and our grandchildren here.
That's an amazing heritage.
Yeah, and so whenever you talk about sustainability, first of all, we've had the family being sustainable.
Yes.
We all get along. And second of all, we've had animals here for better than 120 years that I know of.
Yeah.
You know, my grandpa's best cow in 1906, we have a picture of. You know, so there's been animals here. And the amazing thing about sustainability is our yields are going up. Our milk yields are going, our yields on our crops, our milk yields are going up. It's an exciting time when you have your family involved in business with you.
Right. Growing people and growing organization.
There you go.
Yeah, that's important. So, Brent, you, how many cows do you milk here now?
We're milking about 850 right now. We have 950 cows with the dry cows.
All right. So recently you were a National Platinum Quality Award winner. Is that important to you?
Well, I got started in this program. I used to read the Hoard's Dairyman, and I would skip over those pages because my somatic cell count was a little too high. You know, I looked at it and I'm going, what are these people doing? So then I had the opportunity to go to the National Mastitis Conference 10 or 12 years ago, and I thought, wouldn't it be nice if I could get my somatic cell count down below 100? Mm-hmm. Well, then Michigan Milk Producers, our dairy co-op, offers a premium in a step basis. So if you're at 100 or if you're at 75, you get paid a little more.
Right.
You know, and it's a nickel. Well, I got to doing figuring, and if I could get it below 75,000, I thought I'm going to shoot for that. Mm-hmm. And I also discovered that while I was on the board at Michigan Milk, most everybody gets the PI count and the raw count. And so I just decided that we were going to work on that project because I'm here, I live on the farm, I'm not an absentee landlord, so I'm here for all the fire engine calls, like the milking machine doesn't work, or there's a down cow, or there's a calving. I get to take care of those, okay? So while I'm in the barn, you know, I'm making sure that the quality, that the bulk tank's turned on, right, and that it's washing. You know, you've got the charts you check. So I walk around in the parlor with a CMT kit. That's what I do. Before any cow goes into the bulk tank, she's checked with a CMT kit.
So that's after freshening, every cow is checked, right?
For antibiotics.
Heifers too, or just cows?
Oh, heifers. You'd be amazed. The heifers, I'll get 2 or 3 out of 10 that'll come in with just a little slight case, and those are fun to treat. You know, they clear up right away.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
So this passion for quality milk is certainly related to the bonus that you get, the premium that you get on your milk. But I hear more than just getting the premium.
Well, let's face it, when you get your milk check, guess what they have? Is, oh, we're getting paid really good price for protein, and we were getting paid a really good price. Like half our milk check was butter fat.
Yeah.
Now it's mostly protein. But they have what they call a market adjustment fee or a market destination fee, which runs better than 50,000 a month here. And I'm going, what in the world do we have to pay that for? Well, we are so efficient in Michigan, and this is such a great place to dairy, that we keep oversupplying the market. Yeah. And we have to ship milk out of the state. So we have these destination charges. Well, to market that milk, it has to be top superior quality.
Because the consumer wants a high quality product. And the consumer is interested in something that they don't have to worry about spoiling, they don't have to worry about bad taste. They want something that tastes good every time they go to the store. So milk quality is important to you. You set some goals in order to capture the highest premium available to you. You've reached those goals. Your somatic cell count was in fact below 75,000, and you're maintaining it that way. And one of the ways you maintain it, of course, is by checking cows as they come before they go in the bulk tank. You're checking all animals before they go in the bulk tank to see if they have any mastitis or not. So on a subclinical basis, because obviously you haven't seen anything at that point, but you want to check. Right? So this farm is milking 900 cows. You milk in the mornings, but milkings are primarily done by employees. Mm-hmm. How important are the employees in achieving high quality milk?
Well, we do have employee evaluations. We have Spanish-speaking employees. We have another group leader from a farm down by St. John's that comes up here and leads these meetings generally quarterly.
Okay.
Okay, and we talk about different issues. And we learned long ago that when we have a sick cow and they tell us that we go, thank you for finding this cow.
Right.
Otherwise, they think they're to blame for it.
Yeah.
You know, so we're on it. And now, if they tell me a cow didn't give any milk, and they write it on board, or when we do DHIA test, I have the hot sheet. I get that the next day. I'm right out there going and finding that cow or cows. And there's always one or two every month that I didn't know she had subclinical, but she's over 1 million somatic cell counts. And when you get your hot sheet, you can tell. If you start out at 68,000, if you take this cow out, you're going to be at 64, 62,000. Mm-hmm. Well, you take her out. You know, we average about 1 case of mastitis per week.
Clinical mastitis.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Which I guess on 900 cows is acceptable, but I want to get it lower than that. So we vaccinate, we do a lot of things.
This drive to eliminate problems, the drive to really get to the state of not having those problems. I think that's terrific, because I think that's really what's fueled you in a lot of areas of this farm, is the drive to eliminate problems. Not to tolerate them, but to eliminate them.
Well, it's exciting when I go. We have 50-inch wide free stalls, plenty of lunge space, 16-foot, head-to-head stalls, and a 2-row barn. And so the stalls are so long, they have plenty of lunge space, so we have manure in the back of the stalls. Right. So we have to get that scraped out. We put lime down. But the exciting part is when I go up to the high group, which is group 1, and I look on DHIA, and every one of those cows, the whole group there, 188, 90 cows, are 120 pounds a cow. Right. Okay? And those are your older cows. They've withstood the test of time, and those are making money for you.
Yeah.
You know, these little rat heifers that come in that peak out at 80 or 90, fine, you got to build them up. Right. So eventually they'll get older, right, and make money for you. But you don't make any money on those heifers because you've been feeding them for 2 years.
And certainly mastitis control is one of the ways that we retain animals in the herd. We keep them in the herd because they've been healthy and they obviously survive. So your employees are key to this. You've trained them to be able to identify animals that are sick in some way, that are not normal. You've taught them that to look for things in the animals. You've taught them to look at the milk production and compare it to what they usually do. And you've taught them to look at how they walk and all those things. So that's really important, because what you've achieved is working through employees, a passion for quality, and that they're with you as partners in that, and that's needed. And you mentioned the barns, because it's not just what happens in the parlor, it's what happens in the barns, it's what happens all steps of the process in the life of the animal in achieving milk quality. So besides the comfortable beds, which are deep bedded sand, virgin sand, I believe, right?
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna recycle sand anytime soon. You know, we have a ready supply of it, so.
Yeah. So you've got deep bedded large stalls, and I know that comfort is very important on this farm as well too. Are there other things that are important in animal care that play into milk quality?
Well, I have a stethoscope and a thermometer. Every morning and every night I make my rounds to the fresh group. You know, I check heifers for heat, I check any other cows as I'm passing through a group and see if who's in heat or something. I mark them down. But I'm right on top of the fresh cows. They're usually in the fresh group up to 30 days, and some of the frailer cows are even in there longer, you know. So we try to forestall any problems we have with the fresh group. Okay. And then we're on a strict vaccine protocol. We vaccinate for coliform mastitis. We vaccinate for BVD, PI3, you know, all of those.
But by vaccinating for E. coli and mastitis, what we can expect is that you would have less severe cases of it when you have cases of it, so that you don't lose animals. And that's pretty critical, because losing animals is a total loss of profit.
There are people that have a lot lower somatic cell count than me, and lower bacteria counts, you know, which mine was 2,000 average for all of last year, but there are people that average 1,200, you know. But my biggest fear is I'll get a hot case of coliform mastitis. We use OBSYNC protocol out here, and I would prefer cows if they wouldn't come in heat, because they're milking so heavy.
Yeah.
When we start them out on days 62 to 60 or 70, and then they come in heat, and I'm going, no, you know, don't. So, unfortunately, with vaccines, we do get coliform mastitis. We use a special post-teat dip, and we make sure those teat ends are clean, but the cows are biological animals. You're going to get periodically some cases. Fortunately, the cases of E. coli we have, we're able to control it, get on top of it, and some of them will even eventually clear up. But one of the questions that they ask you on the National Mastitis Quality Award is, how many did you lose on your farm with mastitis? They want to know how many you sold for mastitis. I think we had 10 or 12. But how many did you lose? And we didn't lose any.
That's a remarkable record.
So if you want to go up further with a National Milk Quality Award, you need to really look at the health traits to make sure that you're on top of these things and the cows don't go so far down.
Right.
You know, that you know, they don't recover.
Right. And it's not just about winning awards, of course. It's about herds that are profitable and productive, because we know that as we retain those animals in the herd, when we don't have to call them, when we don't lose them to death, that it's much more profitable that way.
Yeah, of the 320 cows that we culled last year, which is a 30% cull rate, we're full up, first of all,
Mm-hmm.
but over 200 of those were from low production,
Right.
you know.
That's the position you want to be in, is to be able to call for voluntary reasons rather than involuntary.
Yeah. You don't want to have to go, well, when did I treat her last? I'm so sick of treating her, I'm going to get rid of her. No, it's because you treated her, you're milking 3/4, dumping 1, and you do that for a couple, 3 months, she doesn't keep climbing in milk, she goes the wrong way. And so, I can about tell you, if a cow gets mastitis in the first 30 days, by the time 6 months from now, she probably won't be around.
Right.
We're going to take care of her. We're charged as stewards of the cows. There's times I want to go, I don't want to mess with this cow. But you got to be stewards of the animals. You got to do what's best for her,
Right.
and try to get her to recover. And so,
But you've been able to maintain a very low number of those animals so that you don't have to have the frustrations of dealing with the disease. You mentioned cleaning teat ends, and I know that teat end itself is very important, certainly in mastitis of the animal, but it's also something that your employees understand. The teat end itself is where the action needs to be.
and we can evaluate that. We culture, okay? We don't have on-farm culturing. We send all the samples into the lab. I think Michigan State did most of them last year. And, I got the usual suspects, E. coli, strep non-ag, but then Candida yeast shows up. Where is this from? Well, guess what? The teat end wasn't clean. Okay, I want that handy wipe, and I want that thing spotlessly clean when you inject that or infuse that cow's teat end. Okay.
I think so often on some farms that we actually end up infecting a lot of cows at our treatment time, and that's obviously not what we want to do. The treatment is supposed to be a positive thing and not a negative thing, and it all depends on the cleanliness of that teat end.
Now, the other thing I wanted to bring up, Phil, we selectively dry cow treat.
Okay.
How do we do that? Well, I look at the history of every cow on PC Dart, and I say, what was her somatic cell count for her whole lactation? If I find anybody that had a raise in the count, then I treat her.
Right.
Okay? And usually we dry off between 12 and 15 every week. Okay? And usually 6 or 7 of those we don't dry treat.
Okay.
Okay?
So
And I used to,
about 6 or 7 out of how many did you say?
for 12 to
out of-
15.
Okay, so 40% of them you're not dry treating.
No, and it is recommended that you put a teat sealant in there, such as Orbiseal or something. Well, guess what? If she's immune to everything going on around here, just put that red coat of dip on her and don't infuse her with anything. I figure she's made it through 320 days lactation without getting mastitis. I'm not going to stick some Orbiseal in there without any antibiotics. Now, we do use a teat sealant on any cow that we treat. And we go right after some of them. It's a cow that we really want to keep around here. And she's been a really good high somatic cell count cow,
So obviously you monitor things. You use the DHI hot sheet. You're obviously testing. You're culturing animals as they come in. So when you selectively dry treat, then you're still checking the animal as she freshens again the next time. And
Oh,
that's
yeah.
important.
I want to know if we screwed up and didn't dry treat this cow, we should have.
Yeah.
You know.
So you've achieved these things because you set your mind to it and your practices to it. What would you say to other farmers who may be running higher somatic cell count that you've learned?
Well, where does the $1.80 this last month out of your milk check go? Okay, it goes to move milk. Okay, but it also is put in a big pool. We take out quality premiums. We take out, or we take out of the pool and we pay. And we take out quality premiums for PI, raw, somatic cell count. And where do they get that money to pay us, farmers? They get it from the pool where all the proceeds of the milk. The dairies don't pay for it. The dairies expect quality milk every day. And so if you want to get a little more money back out of the market adjustment fee, that's one way.
And you believe that everybody can achieve the same kind of things that you've achieved?
There are ways, it's known what we can do to get your counts down, okay? And
But
in a time of low
Begins
margins,
with a commitment,
Yeah.
begins with a decision.
with the low margins, it's a commitment, well, we're gonna do this, because sometime we're gonna have a decent return.
Yeah.
For our labors. You wouldn't think so right now, it's just moving that way, but,
But as long as
people
we
are
keep,
going to eat.
as long as we keep producing quality products that people learn to love and learn the value of, then there's hope for the industry because indeed people return to quality time and time again. So, Brent, thank you very much for the opportunity to be with you today. Congratulations not only on what you achieve in producing excellent quality milk and on your award, the National Platinum Quality Award, but congratulations on just your success as a dairy producer. So thank you very much for the time together today.
Thank you.